You're listening to the Dynamic Thinking Project podcast. This is episode 48, and today's topic is Men in Black. Hey everyone, Adam Musalli here. Welcome to the Dynamic Thinking Project podcast. If this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. This podcast is released every Friday, and show notes are found at the website, themindtechinstitute.com. It's all one word. Come back often and feel free to add this podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. You can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook. All links are in the show notes and website. And now, let's get started. In the past few previous episodes, we spoke about aliens and we covered the alien abduction phenomenon subject and other related topics. And today, our topic is not any less interesting. Although I've never seen the Men in Black in person, but I had few people in the past who told me they are being watched or stalked by some paled men who were black, as well as some alien abductees who also told me the same thing. But today we're not going to talk about these people. We are going to talk about some cases and what these people might be. And by the way, if you would like to study and become a fully qualified hypnotherapist, neuro-linguistic programming, NLP or life coach, or even a counselor, now you can study all that totally online. All you have to do is visit mti.edu.au or themindtechinstitute.com, and you'll find all these courses along with many other courses once you click on the online courses tab. And also, all our diplomas and advanced diplomas are accredited and recognized worldwide. And for more information, all can be found online, themindtechinstitute.com. With that being said, and going back to our main topic, the Men in Black phenomenon began just about as long as the UFO phenomena has been around. There has been the complementary anomaly known as the Men in Black. These phantom figures have long been reported to threaten and stalk certain eyewitnesses who those with sometimes insider knowledge of the UFO, or they have been investigating or taking photos, or they have some footages of UFOs. Usually those Men in Black, they warn them away from sharing what they have seen or recorded or know, and always freaking them out. As reported from around the world, the Men in Black are typically almost universally described as being individuals. Some reports say they are usually large, very tall, and they are always in pairs and moved in unison. They dressed in black, as in black suits and trench coats, often with black fedora hat and dark sunglasses even at night, mostly at least a bit odd looking with pale skin, dark eyes that seem to stare through the person as they are being able to read someone's mind. They have no facial hair, some are bald, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, they never blink, their speeches are expressionless and monotone as you're hearing a machine, and some witnesses reported that they almost look non-human. There are many speculation about who they are and what they are, but the fact is they are very mysterious and creepy indeed. Perhaps the earliest and the best reported images of a Man in Black comes from 1968 in New Jersey City in the United States, where a UFO researcher named Jack Robinson lived with his wife, Mary. The couple started to notice something strange going on when they would come home to find that their house seemed to have been searched or rummaged through, especially their files of the UFO phenomena, although there was never any sign of any forced entry or burglary. Shortly after this, Mary claimed that she began to notice a peculiar stranger man, all dressed in black and wearing sunglasses, lurking around the area of their apartment, who could sometimes be seen staring up at their window. This was all spooky to be sure, and the creeped out couple told a friend of theirs, Tim Green Beckley, about what was happening. Mary described that stranger-looking man. She said he had unsettling look on his face, kind of unemotional and zombie-like. Mary happened to mention this to Tim, and because the guy appeared 3 days in a row, they decided to drive over early one morning and see if they could see the man in black for themselves. Sure enough, he was there, staring ahead with black sunglasses, long black coat, and enigmatic stare. Beckley came by one day, managed to capture a photograph of him before he took off and he was gone. Although it is inconclusive to say the least, the resulting photograph is believed to be one of the first and clearest photos of one of the alleged men in black. And you can easily find it online. Just if you Google Men in Black 1968 New Jersey, you can find this photo, and it is creepy. Perhaps even more impressive than this is a video footage, also you can easily find it online, that it shows two of the men in black which surfaced in April 2012. The incident allegedly began at a hotel in Canada after a UFO sighting by two employees at a Niagara Falls hotel back in October of 2008. And these employees said that they saw a large, silent, triangular-shaped UFO hovering over Niagara Falls, which then slowly moved off into the distance and then it disappeared. And this was also seen on two different occasions, about 2 weeks apart. And the sighting was actually picked up by a local newspaper titled Niagara Falls This Week on November 7th, 2008. About 7 months later after those two sightings, some employees reported a very disturbing experience. The hotel manager was approached by one of his employees who seemed to be rather unsettled about something, and that employee wanted to talk to the manager in private. He, the employee, then claimed that two mysterious men dressed in black suits and trench coats had approached him, and he told the manager, "Something really weird happened here yesterday, and you were not here. There were a couple of guys looking for you." This is really hard for me to say, but there were a couple of really strange-looking men, and they kind of freaked everybody out. And they were asking questions about you, and I said, "I'm sorry, he's actually not working today." The bizarre strangers were described as being very tall, exactly the same height, with very pale skin and looking odd. It was also noted that they appeared to have the same face, as if they were twins. The bellman claimed that the two strangers had not seemed to really believe that the manager wasn't in at the time, and proceeded to look around the premises and question other employees. With one other hotel staff member who was also approached, and then the second day she told the manager, "They asked some questions about you, and they were talking about governments and conspiracies, and none of it made sense to me, but they were very, very scary. They had no facial hair, none. They had no eyebrows, no eyelashes, nothing. Their hair looked like they had a wig on, like if it was attached to their hat, like it wasn't even real. And the scariest thing, their eyes were so big and so black, they almost hypnotized me a little bit. These men, they didn't even blink. Not once did I see them blink." The hotel manager was disturbed to hear all of this, but was still skeptical about the whole thing. He claimed that he then went through the security footage to check it out and found exactly what had been described, with two strange men dressed all in black entering the hotel through the front door to the lobby. And I also checked this footage, which you can easily find it online. And I tell you, these two men, they looked like 7 feet tall, and they look very creepy. You can find this footage easily on YouTube or any other video platform. You can just type Men in Black Hotel, and you can find it easily. Another very interesting incident happened in 2002 with the actor Dan Aykroyd, who was working on a documentary for the sci-fi channel called Out There. He was working on this documentary with a number of recognized names in the world of ufology, including Linda Moulton Howe, Dr. Stephen Greer, and John Mack. They had filmed 8 episodes of that series, and it was too close to airing. One day after filming, Aykroyd stepped outside for a cigarette, and while he was outside talking on the phone, he turned and looked out onto 42nd Street in New York and noticed a black SUV with a tall man dressed in black, giving him a dirty look. Aykroyd turned away, but then did a double take within a matter of a second, and the car had vanished. 2 hours later, Aykroyd and the cast were told that the show had been cancelled completely and would never air. To this day, they were never given a reason why. Indeed, it has not even really been a certain just what these men in black are, or actually supposed to be. They are surrounded by much lore and bizarreness that is hard to say if they are agents from some secretive government organization, a freelance cabal with their own agenda, aliens themselves, something more paranormal in nature, or simply an elaborate and persistent urban legend. Reports of the Men in Black help matters little, as they are so varied and absolutely riddled with many strangeness. Just what are we supposed to be dealing with here? Some claim they are the government-originated MIB or Men in Black. Some can be tracked back to the official agencies of at least several governments. As for those stranger Men in Black paranormal, of course, much of this depends on how we define the paranormal. They might be the inhabitants of multi-dimensions or extra dimensions that coexist with ours and whose role is to keep us away from the truth about the UFOs and other related things, and also a whole range of strange phenomena too. But as for why, that is a big question still unanswered. Also, the Men in Black could be us, as time travelers from the future coming back to correct some things or observe what we are doing today, as the observers in the TV show Fringe, which is an interesting theory because everything about the Men in Black is sort of out of time. They drive old black cars, they wear old suits, it's like they're from the future, as they don't really understand what's going on today, especially with fashion. They look out of time, and maybe that's the reason some people wondered if they were really from different time. Interestingly enough, there is a number of cases where the Men in Black have asked witnesses, "What's the time?" It's like they have this obsession with time. And some people wondered, maybe they are asking what time is it as what reality is it. You see, there might be multiple different categories of Men in Black, but we tend to try to put everything into one. We could be dealing with several different phenomena which manifested in different ways. One may be more sort of supernatural based, one might be more UFO based, one might be more scientific, as it's us from the future where we have mastered time and space traveling, and there might be some scientists coming back to correct some awful things which we have done in the future, which is their past. And you've got the government secret agency theory. Whatever the Men in Black are, they appear to be here to stay, and they always go hand in hand with the UFO phenomena. Whatever that all entails, who they are, how they are linked to such oddities, and what are their capacity may likely be debated forever. But for those who have encountered them, they are at the very least very real. While these figures have mostly been confined to the realm of witness accounts with very little physical evidence, we are still left with these intriguing images, videos, and witness stories. Are we really seeing the legendary Men in Black here? Is there any clue to be gleaned from these images and videos? It is all at the very least a baffling piece of the Men in Black puzzle. And let's keep an open mind. That's it for today, and once again, if you would like to study and become a fully qualified hypnotherapist, neurolinguistic programming NLP practitioner or master practitioner, a life coach, or even a counselor, now you can study all that totally online. All you have to do is visit mti.edu.au or themindtechinstitute.com, and you will find all these courses along with many other courses once you click on the online courses tab. All our diplomas and advanced diplomas are accredited and recognized worldwide, and for more information, all can be found online at themindtechinstitute.com. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, as usual, you can email me. The email is on our website, themindtechinstitute.com, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you are listening to this podcast on YouTube. The Dynamic Thinking Project podcast is released every Friday. Until next time, take care and enjoy your weekend. This is Adam Musalli, signing out.